But are you ready? Are you ready for the big purchase? This is what I got. This is the big thing. Plamax GP03 Max Factory. I think her name is Maidroid Chloe. And I think it says up here GP03. That's the line. This is the third model in the line. And GP stands for Guilty Princess. Oh boy. It stands for Guilty Princess. That's sort of what the line is called. And yeah, this model line, it comes from Max Factory. It comes from Max Factory, but I think that they're help me out here, Bacon. I'm actually not sure. Are they a subsidiary of Good Smile Company? They might be related to Good Smile in some fashion, because the naming convention of Maidroid. Well, also I think that they're part of, like, on the website, like it's sort of nestled within the Good Smile Company. Okay, yeah, you're correct. Yeah, and so the models themselves are kind of called Maidroids, and that actually is part of the same naming convention that Good Smile uses, because the obsolete model is called a where does it say? They're called Moderoids. See, Moderoids. And then with the Nendroids, those are called Nendroids. So it's this whole thing, this whole naming convention where they're like something droids. Yeah. So this was a pretty penny. Sorry, let's try and get it into frame here. This was a pretty penny. It was more than Ritsuka, and I was kind of like, do I want it? Am I gonna shell out the dough for it? And it was another one of those situations where I was holding, I forget the name of it. I was fully intending to buy that frame arm girl model, the one with like the summer bikini thing. I know that you know what I'm talking about, Bacon. It's like it's a pretty cool model, and it was less. That's the other thing that was kind of like, okay, it's less, so I like that. Plus, there's the sale, right? But the more I thought about it, I was like, you know what? That's not really a model that I had. It never even occurred to me that I would want it, like, at least compared to this one. Because again, this was something where I had seen like some pictures of it or whatever, and I was like, yeah, that's something that I would probably want, right? Never thinking that I would get it anytime soon in particular, just that I was like, yeah, I could see myself picking up this model. But yeah, the more I thought about it, it was like, there's a sale, so that's kind of like good enough reason. Because if I'm not going to buy it now and it's on sale, then I'm super not likely to ever buy it, right, at normal regular price. So that was one of those things where I was like, let's just do it. Plus, I felt like this might create like a kind of humorous situation with this model and Ritsuka, where it's kind of like Ritsuka could be like this stuck-up rich girl, high school elite or whatever, and then she could have like this model as her maid by her side, and I could I don't know, I just thought that might be kind of funny. So yeah, let's take a look. Really cool cover art. The artist is Tony, and let me take a quick look, because I think this artist does artwork for video games. Let me take a quick look here, because I was looking into that just a bit. It's just known as Tony. Shining. Yeah, so I think that this artist has done work for the Shining series. Those are Sega RPGs. So pretty neat. And let's just take a look. Bacon, he did character designs for some of the Shining series by Sega. Yeah, so you must have beat me to the punch. I was looking it up, but you already made the comment. So there's a image of the model here. Pretty neat. And here's a look at some of the kind of poses. This is a kind of neat action pose right here. She's running with her vacuum. By the way, that's like the main primary accessory is this vacuum, which is kind of weird. This thing looks like R2-D2 a little bit, like a golden R2-D2. I mean, she's a maid, so I guess that kind of makes sense. And I think that's probably the biggest point of contention for me. The biggest criticism I have with this model is just that the accessory, which is effectively this thing, that's it, right? It's not like the other models out there in the Megami device line, where they just come with all these accessories, all this armor and stuff. Which I really like. In some cases, it's just cool that they come with all of this stuff. But for me, as always, it comes down to just the overall aesthetic of the model, right? And it's just like, yeah, I kind of like the look of this model more. Because sometimes with the Megami device and frame arms girls and stuff like that, they can look like a little, like a, like a girl character just with a bunch of cybernetic parts and armor parts slapped onto them, right? Sometimes it looks awesome, but other times you get that impression that it's just slapped on. Whereas this model, it feels a little more cohesive, right? Like all of the accessories, like the big frilly skirt. He's more well known for designing lewd characters. Yeah, I mean, the whole line is called Guilty Princess, right? I wonder if there's I'm okay. We'll open the box and we'll see if there's like a description of the line, because there's I was on the website where they described this line, and yeah, it sounds like it's kind of like getting into the lewd, weird territory, but I don't know. We'll see. So also kind of unique with this box is that it opens like a box, like as if you were buying a collector's edition for a game rather than a shoebox. You know how like most model kits are, like you just sort of lift them up the top. This one you have to actually open it up. Well, that was actually also like the Maidroid that I got too. And so now you just slide it open. So yeah, we're just gonna take a look at the parts overall, and then we'll get back to doing something else. Let's just get this open. Ooh. Bacon. Yeah, I feel like frame arm girls and sometimes Megami device are guilty of that. Just a bunch of armor attached to the character. Yeah, I mean, with models like I'm gonna pronounce this incorrectly, Tama Naoe and Susanoo. Sorry, I butchered that, but yeah, those models, I like it. They have a lot of stuff on them, but it looks cool because I feel like that's sort of the aesthetic of the model, is that they're kind of like just bursting with details and kind of a lot of extraneous stuff, you know? I think that can work because it feels like that's part of the design, but other times it just feels like, yeah, we know that people just like the girl part, and then here's just a bunch of crap added on. But like I said, this is a model where I felt like it's kind of neat how it's just a more overall aesthetic design. And yeah, there's not a lot of accessories, but just what it looks like is kind of pleasing in and of itself without having to add anything. And I guess that kind of applies to Ritsuka Saiki from the Sosai Shoujo Teien line as well. It's just, I just kind of like it how they look just like that, without having to add all of the extra stuff. Okay, let's open the box. The box is already open. Let's open the instructions. Take a look at that. Here, I was looking at the decals, and you can see they're not really that complex. There's just a couple of eyeballs, some numbers, and this blue stuff, which I really don't know what that's supposed to be. But yeah, pretty simple. Let's take a look at the instruction manual real quick. Let's see what we can see. I think this is an alternate head. I'm not 100% sure. There's not, there isn't any English here. Less decals is good, yeah. I'm sure you're somewhat traumatized by that, Bacon. 150 plus decals, something like that? That's a lot. Yeah, I feel like this faceplate, or the hairstyle here, is from the other model from this line. And this gun here is a combination of parts from other models. So you'll need to get the other models if you want to get that look. Oh, these blue canisters. These blue canisters might be this here. You might have to wrap that around. A bunch of tubes. Oh, she does have this hairstyle. Okay. I was thinking that this hair cut might be from a different model. Has a stand. R2-D2. Parts. Wow. Wow, these instructions seem pretty short. Wow. It's full color. Some basic instructions about, you know, how to cut away from the part first, and then cut closer. Pretty normal stuff. Assembling the boobs. Let's see, decals. Yeah, pretty straightforward stuff. This model might actually be pretty easy. I'm not actually sure. We'll see. The skirt wings are kind of like wings. And then the tail, there's a tail. And she has cat ears too. The stand. Here's the vacuum R2-D2. Putting that together. And yeah, when you have the other models, you can create this big gun. But yeah, that's pretty straightforward. This might need some glue? Is that what that says? That's interesting. Typically, a lot of these models don't need glue, but yeah, if that's... Oh yeah, I'm seeing something here. Glue? Right there. Glue the collar onto the base there. Interesting. Is there any other glue icons? Let's see. Oh yeah, so I was asking earlier, maybe it cut out there, Bacon, but did you end up buying anything last night? I know you were thinking about it. Let's see. That might just be the only time you need glue. It's kind of weird. Yeah, that might be it. And where was the stickers? Where did the blue stickers go? Just out of curiosity. Oh, here. Yeah, so that blue thing kind of wraps around the canisters. Okay. Well, this looks actually pretty straightforward. I'm not too sure how big the instructions were for Ritsuka, because Ritsuka's instructions has some like extra pages and stuff, and I'm actually building the model based on the whatchamacallit, the English instructions are online, so they don't really need it. I don't really need to know how big the instructions are, per se. Alright, let's take a look at the pieces. We won't be opening the bags, but let's just take a quick look at some of the pieces here. Bacon, you ordered Susanoo, and 2 bases for the waifus. Nice. I need to look into what these bases are, because I know you were saying, you were talking about that earlier. So the newer bases, or rather the new bases that you're buying are more fancy in some fashion. So here's the base. Yeah, it's pretty basic, right? Although I will say that the actual arms here are made of a very thick clear plastic, which is good. You know, you don't want these skinny spindly arms. You want some thick arms, thick with 2 C's. Oh yeah, and look at so this is the skirt, part of the skirt, and it's clear. It's kind of like got this like smoky, cloudy, clear look to it, but even so, there's like these really interesting designs on the clear plastic, so that's kind of neat. So here's the part that I think we might need to address via painting in some fashion, because remember that like gold R2-D2? This is the gold, and it's like you know, it's like Lego Chima gold, you know what I'm saying? So we might try and go for a more chrome gold. Just pick up some gold chrome spray paint. We might try that. That might be kind of neat. Bacon, I think we were talking about action bases for Gunpla. Yeah, I seem to recall you were talking about like better bases for the frame arm girls and the Megami device as well. And here's some of the, I think these are going to be her legs. And yeah, just any of the white parts from the model. And again, there's some of the black. And the hairpiece too. There's one hairpiece. So one interesting thing is that the models, the skirt part here has this kind of like Tron-like design, for lack of a better word. Kind of like these Tron-like lines. They kind of resemble circuitry or something. And there's the pattern again here. Sorry, you probably can't see it because of the reflection. But I wonder if we can do something with that, like panel line with like a neon color. That might be kind of neat, right? And here's the here's the R2-D2, like the dome-like part, which is very, very interesting to me. But again, I'm very tempted to use some kind of chrome paint because, yeah, I'm just not super into this this kind of plastic casted pearlescent gold. Is that what we want to call it? Bacon, the base that came with Azra Archer is really basic and you wanted something with more articulation. Okay, I gotcha. And so there's an official one that's more articulate. Here's the faceplates. This is always a very interesting thing for me, is seeing how they do seeing the faces and seeing if they look really nice. So here's an example. And I think they did a pretty nice job. Her eyes are kind of like a very pale gray purple. And this is a very neutral expression. And this looks kind of like a slightly irritated one. And this is like a super happy looking face. And yeah, I think that the faces look pretty nice. There's 3 different ones here with the Sosai Shoujo Teian models. I got like, how many? 4 printed faces? 5? Which is pretty awesome. This is 3, so less. But still, it's nice that you get 3 printed ones, and I think there are 3 more blank ones. Let's see here. 3 more blank ones that you can do, and it's kind of like I'm kind of a little nervous about attaching the decal faces. Have you done that yet, Bacon? I feel like you haven't done that as of yet, right? Applied decals to any of the extra faces, but I feel like I need to try and practice that at least. Try it out at least once or twice, right? It's part of the model making hobby. Bacon, you can get fancier bases by Koto. Okay, I get you now. Yeah, so it's funny. I have the Sosai Shoujo Teian model, and I have this model, which isn't from Koto. So thus far, I haven't actually bought a model from the Frame Arm Girls line or the Megami Device line or the 30-Minute Sisters while I'm at it from Bandai. Those are, I guess you could say, they're kind of like the main producers of these sort of model kits, and or not producer, but they're the main lines, right, at this point. But yeah, just at the store, I didn't really see anything that jumped at me from any of those. So yeah, and again, this was the one that jumped at me. So we have to go. We have to go with what appeals, I suppose. So there's some extra hands. One looks to be kind of like outstretched in an interesting gesture. I think I might want to get like an extra hand third-party set where like they're doing peace sign and stuff like that. I might want to get something like that. And there's the underoos. Bacon, I haven't tried it yet. The Koto kits doesn't come with any blank faces. Really? Neither any of the ones that you have? That's surprising. I thought they did. Yeah, because these ones, all the ones that I bought so far, which is only just 2, they have blank faces. So they don't come with extra eyes or anything like that? They must have come with extra eyes, though. Because you made Spoon-chan. The amazing Spoon-chan. This part looks to be the shoes and just some general pegs. Oh, they give you extra eyes but not blank faces. I guess if you ever run into an opportunity to get blank faces from somewhere, maybe they sell them extra. I'm sure they do. Actually, yeah, I'm positive they do. At that point, you could use those extra eyes. And again, here's that like skirt part, this time in white. So there was white, black, and then that transparent see-through smoky gray. And I think that, I want to call it a skirt, but it's kind of like a wing thing too. That can be taken off. Some of the hair, this is the other hair bangs. And then the long hair, there's a bow. Her shirt, her like top blouse, I guess you could call it. Maybe the tail, is this like a part of the tail? Tiara. Let's see, what else do we got here? There's more hair parts, and again with the tail, some gold. So a decent amount of parts actually, but the assembly looks fairly simple, I feel. At least that's my impression. So not much there's not much actual like skin showing, you know, like as far as being like a really erotic looking model, a really spicy, sexy model. It does look, you know, a little spicy, but when it actually comes down to the parts, it doesn't seem like there's actually that many extra like flesh tone parts, surprisingly enough, for how it looks. And some more gold parts. And a lot of tubes. These tubes are, let's see, are they very solid? Yeah, they're solid. They're not like rubbery. They're not like a rubbery plastic, so that like you're gonna be able to bend them around and stuff. They seem fairly rigid. So, yeah. This model is made in China too, by the way. So that's actually a first for me. I'm pretty sure the Sosai Shoujo Teian model was made in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. And if you look here, there's actually a printed part that has like the tip of it is black. I'm guessing that could be like her neck, maybe? I don't know. Interesting that it's black, and then the rest of the part is flesh tone. Guilty Princess. So I don't know if you've seen the other models from this line, but they're pretty interesting. There's this one that's like kind of like Alice in Wonderland, and it comes with like a big, I don't know if it's big, but like a pet. Instead of her accessory, instead of being like a vacuum, is kind of like a rabbit, like a mechanical rabbit. It's pretty cool looking actually. But I think that was the second model in the series, and so yeah, it's probably hard to find now as far as like just going into a store kind of thing. But yeah, that's generally this model. It seems like it's gonna be a little easier to build compared to Ritsuka, but we shall see. That's just my general impression. It does come with a fairly large accessory compared to Ritsuka. And once again, packing in all of this stuff, putting it back in seems a little tricky, and I don't really want to compress the box all that much, right? And here's the faces. We definitely don't want to scratch up the faces or anything. And here's the base plate, which we can just kind of put like that. Yeah, I think it's all gonna fit pretty nicely actually. Put these in. So this will be later down the line. This model is something that I'll work on in due time. We need to finish Ritsuka, of course, and also probably the entry grade model that I built. And even so, after that, I think I might take a little detour and probably focus on Warhammer a bit, because we haven't been doing any Warhammer stuff as of late. The waifus have been distracting me. Okay, so these actually go back into the box like this. That's always kind of weird to me, the way that it works. But yeah, I'm not expecting to paint this model other than the vacuum cleaner itself. I'll think about it. I'll give it some thought as to how I'm going to paint it. But one of the things that appealed to me about this model was the idea that Ritsuka would have a maid now. Just one of those anime trope things where, like, you know, there's like a super skilled and talented maid that that is always accompanying the you know, the elite girl kind of thing. And I have this vision in my mind of like Ritsuka at like a table, and then her kind of like standing by her side kind of thing. That's kind of like a vision that I had that might be kind of fun to build. But yeah, that's the stuff that I purchased at my latest hobby trip at Trinity Hobby. Pretty fun. And yeah, thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Aight. Like and comment and subscribe.